How's it going, everybody? This video was originally going to be part 2 of my huge Superman Silver Age claim sale haul I got. But when those books arrived, it was a lot more than I had anticipated, where it was 2 big boxes, almost the equivalent of a short box, which is a good amount of comics. And instead of having a little bit of different titles here or there, I started to realize that I had a fairly decent chunk of different runs of Superman, Adventure Comics, Superboy, Action Comics, and a little pinch of Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, that it's gonna make more sense to just do what I was doing with my Batman and Detective Comics and just do separate video breakdowns of my entire Superman collection, Action Comics, and so on. So I'm gonna save that for when I break it down in those videos rather than doing a massive haul video of just all the titles. And that way you guys will see pretty much every comic I had in my collection for those titles. Instead, we're going to go over a different claim sale haul I got. This one is primarily more Batman Detective Comics. So you guys recently saw my entire collection for Batman and Detective. This will be a good chunk more books that I need to fill the gaps that this last claim sale just happened to have. So it's going to be primarily from one giant claim sale, along with 2 or 3 eBay purchases sprinkled in between. Well, what we're looking at is this stack right here is what we're going to go over today. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so to start this off, we have Batman 255, one of DC's 100-page giants. This is also, I forget the character's name, but I think the first appearance of the werewolf here, who I think was actually featured in Batman the Animated Series as a friend of his. Super nice copy on that one. Next we have another awesome Neal Adams cover. This one is kind of coveted, and I've been trying to track this down. It recently came on my radar, and I had just started tracking down different eBay copies, and one had just, by coincidence, appeared at this last claim sale, and I was able to snag it. This is Batman 241. I was super happy when this came up. It is a little bit mid-grade copy. The spine's not too bad. Gets a little bit of a miswrap at the bottom. There's a little bit of a crease going down the middle. Slight wear. Very slight. But for even this range and the grade it's in, how much I paid, I got a great deal on this. And I actually hit, I think it was 20% off on my entire claim sale order, so I got it even cheaper. So I was extremely happy when this book came through. Then we have Batman number 243, and I believe this is the first mention / appearance of the Lazarus Pits that Ra's al Ghul uses to stay young. And that was it for Batman, not a whole lot, but there is a decent chunk of Detective Comics, and we have Detective Comics number 381. This is actually one of the eBay purchases I had that's going to sneak in there. Really love this copy. This one is probably a fine plus to a very fine. Colors pop. Really great to have that one. Then I have Detective Comics 419. This is another awesome Neal Adams cover that I had just started tracking down, and I got this one also for super cheap on eBay. The seller took my best offer. You have this guy face down, weighed down, being drowned by these Batman statues, and we are in the water looking up at him. I love that cover, the colors, the perspective shot. Super great cover. Then we have what is now, I believe, the oldest Detective Comics book I have in my collection at Detective Comics 308. And this is actually probably a very fine copy. This thing is gorgeous for how old it is. There's only the slightest of wear around the edges. You do have a date written up top, but I'm honestly okay with that. It doesn't get in the way of the art and adds a little bit of history to the book. I don't care as much about date stamps or if there's some markings, as long as they're not obstructing the overall art. So this one I'm really happy to have. Then we have Detective Comics 425, another classic Bernie Wrightson cover this time. And this is that 20-cent era that I originally wasn't a fan of the picture frame style, but the more I get, the more they're growing on me. And as coincidence would have it, a good chunk that I got from this claim sale actually have that. so it really fills out a portion of the collection I was missing. Keeping with the trend, Detective Comics 426, classic Batman suicide cover. Got the note all written out there. A little bit more wear on the spine. This one, if I find a better copy in the wild, I will grab it, but it's not like an immediate I need to upgrade it. Same with this right here, Detective Comics 429. Has a little bit more where it puts it in the Find to Find Plus, but it's still a beautiful copy for the price I paid. Where again, if I find a better copy in the wild, I will snag it, but this is a beautiful placeholder copy in the meantime. Then we are going to go Detective Comics 406, and this one is actually definitely very, very fine. This one is a gorgeous copy. I've also seen a few different ones where it usually has some kind of either miswrap on the spine, or it starts out thin and gets very, very thick for the white part. This one is a perfect wrap, and I was extremely happy when this had shown up. The price I paid for the condition and the wrap, this was a score. Just more Neil Adams goodness. Detective Comics 409. Adding to the green covers that I thought weren't that prevalent, but here we go, yet again. Detective Comics 415. Classic Batman hanging cover. They had a lot of kind of hanging suicide covers now that I'm looking back. More than you think, given the character didn't actually die. So, hey, it is what it is. This copy, pretty good all around. Slight wear at the bottom, is missing a small chip in this corner, but it is still beautiful, again, for the price I paid. Again, especially when you consider the 20% off added on top of all of this, it's just a steal. Detective Comics 418, an awesome Creeper cover. Again, the Creeper, one of my favorite obscure characters that me and my younger brother loved from the new Batman Adventures. One of our favorite episodes. That purple cover just pops on there. Detective Comics 390. This was just another one of those classic 15-cent era issue covers that I needed for my run that, again, this claim sale had a huge chunk of them. And this was another one of Mint Hunter Comics claim sales. He has them almost, or if not, every Sunday, along with one or two sprinkled throughout the week. Sunday is just usually the big one where I get in the most trouble. This is Young Love, number 71. I only snagged this because it was a gorgeous Nick Cardy cover. It was just another one of those 12-cent, the colors popped, the characters are bold. Nick Cardy is another one that's creeping up where I'm buying more and more of his stuff, I've noticed. Second to, like I said, Carmine Infantino, Neil Adams, Nick Cardy is definitely another artist who I'm going to start adding more covers to my collection. These next two books are pretty random, but they are from the same claim sale, so here we go. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. This is issue 1, and it is the Battle Roar sound effects variant. So once you rip it out of this bag, when you open the first page, it has a little device in there, like a singing Christmas card almost, that Godzilla roars. I am a huge Godzilla fan. I have been since I was a kid. I love everything they're doing with Toho right now. I love the legendary Godzilla movies that are coming out. And I am just super hyped that we're getting back in that era where Godzilla hype is getting that younger generation as excited as we were growing up. And the second part to that one is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, also issue 1, but the Kong variant cover, that if you were to open this one up, bust the pages open, you hear Kong let out a roar. These covers, again, have nothing to do with all the other ones. There are random books in this claim sale that I had to snag just because of the huge fan I am. I also loved Peter Jackson's King Kong growing up. I had almost every toy from that movie. I loved it. All right, now we're getting back to the Silver Age, though. This and the next one are a couple eBay purchases. This is Plastic Man number 8, and this sticks with that theme of awesome black covers that I really, really love. There's a slight white wrap on the spine, but it's so slight it doesn't take away from the overall cover. This is a very fine copy. I've also been zeroing in on a lot more of the Plastic Man. I've just noticed the colors, the way they pop, everything on it. A lot of the Silver Age just gets me, and that Plastic Man title is a newer one that I've also started zeroing in on. And to go with that, Let's keep it up with Plastic Man number 6. Another beautiful, very fine copy. This one, the guy on it and the colors on it, and the way that the logo is, almost reminds me of the old school Hot Rod Ratfink, if you guys have seen that and with that design. I get that vibes with the color and how they have everything spelt out here. Probably one of the reasons why I love it so much. Alright, now we're going to get a touch newer, and we're going to go into the Brave and the Bold with Brave and the Bold, number 95. These, once again, I got out of... I'm not actively collecting it, but when they do come up, I will always snag these for the convenience and the condition. And a lot of them are also awesome Neal Adams covers, so they fit with what I'm collecting. I'm just not as actively attacking them. Here we have Brave and the Bold, number 90. Another awesome cover. You have what appears to be the Grim Reaper, Adam Strange right there. This one is also in amazing condition. Super happy to score that. Next up, we'll go a little older with Brave and the Bold, number 70. This is a copy that, same thing, it's a awesome Carmine Infantino cover. It is a good placeholder copy. It's a little bit more wear on the spine than I'd like, but again, for the price, it's a pretty good placeholder. I do want to upgrade to at least a very fine. That way the purple on this just pops even more. I love that cover. Then we are going to go Brave and the Bold, 71. This one, again, probably in like a fine plus condition. Everything on this side is pretty good to go. A little bit of wear at the bottom and a little bit more wear on the spine, but a solid, beautiful copy to have in the collection. Then we have Brave and the Bold, 89. An awesome Batman Phantom Stranger covered. This one, again, is just beautiful, awesome condition. Only the slightest of ticks on the spine. Everything else is just great. Then we have Brave and the Bold, 74. This one, I think I'd seen a couple times, but I hadn't really paid much attention to it. I love this cover. The way you have the Metal Men in the background and it's darker with the light shining down, the colors on Batman and these two robot guys right here, this cover just pops. It's everything I love about the Silver Age. And Batman with his cowl, and he has that little bit of darkness on his face, gives you a little bit of that Adam West era Batman. This one's super cool. Next up, we have Brave and the Bold, 88. This was one that actually was on my radar. It's a great Neal Adams cover, but I love how he draws Batman, but I'm noticing even more, I love any time that Neal Adams draws Wildcat. The detail he puts on his suit, because it is just a solid color suit, so your line work, your shading, the muscles, all that is a lot more important to make it stand out. And I love every time he draws Wildcat. Some of my favorite covers of his, other than Batman, are any covers that feature Wildcat on them. I was extremely happy to get this one. All right, the last book for this haul is Brave and the Bold, 101, Batman and Metamorpho. This is actually my second copy of this. This book is extremely nice, very fine to near mint minus. The spine wrap on it for a thicker book is also pretty good. There's only the slightest at the bottom where you see it start to get a little thicker and go past. This one I thought might be nicer than the copy I have. I still have to double check it. I've already rebagged and boarded all of these in Mylar, which is why they look nice, crisp, extra shiny, but I haven't put them away in my box yet. I want to do this video first. So I have to check and see if this one's nicer or if the one I have is nicer. But that is an awesome Batman Metamorpho copy, disguising himself as the Tombstone. Metamorpho, who was just announced to be in the new James Gunn Superman Legacy movie. So another extremely good copy to have. And again, that is the last book for this haul. That was just another quick video showing off one of my more recent hauls. I don't think I have anything else major coming in. There are a couple more eBay purchases that'll be sprinkling in and out, but I don't think I have any more big hauls that should be coming in. So I think next I'm going to focus on, like I said, my entire Superman, my entire Action Comics, Adventure Comics, Superboy, because that one I also have a good-sized chunk, and the Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, I'll probably sprinkle in with one of those ones. I think Adventure Comics isn't too crazy, It's probably stacky yay big, so I'll probably sneak it in with there. But other than that, thank you guys for checking out my video again, and until next time.